Hi guys. Nope, you don't have to adjust your iPad. Yes, I have black smudges. And I'm coming on here because I decided I wanted to mention a couple of things about gray hair. So I met a couple of people this week who said to me, again, oh, your hair is beautiful. I love your hair color. Is that your natural color? Have you always had it that color? Did you ever dye your hair? Blah, blah, blah. And I do refer them to a group that is on Facebook, and it's called Silver Sisters. And so, if any of you are in the process of wanting to transition, thinking about it, have started it, it's a great group of women who just self-support and encourage each other. And you do have to ask for membership in, but you can just go on to Facebook and get on it. So I wanted to kind of make this analogy. So I have a makeup wipe and I started to remove my eye makeup. And just like transitioning your hair color to gray, especially if you have been a person who has dyed it, it's kind of like this. You go through a time period that looks not so nice on yourself. It makes you feel self-conscious. It makes you feel like, am I really at this point in my life? Is it true what everybody says, that it's going to make you look older and harsher and harder? But it's part of that transition stage where you start to just feel yucky and you don't look so nice. You're kind of skunkish and you have roots growing out and all of those things that you don't want to look at and see in the mirror. And because it can be shocking, just as what I'm doing right now by removing all of my makeup on camera to show you the shockingness of what's underneath. However, with transitioning back to what is now your natural color, silver, gray, white, whatever it turns out to be, it's kind of like this. It's just like entering a new phase in your life. And it doesn't even mean that that phase is defined by a number in your age. Some people go prematurely gray at a very young age. But I think it's like going through stages. You don't necessarily like what you see because, just like taking off this makeup, I'm going through an awful looking stage. I'm, trying to get the mascara and the goop off of my eyes. So wiping away all of the makeup that I have on. So, it looks pretty nasty on a makeup wipe, but what I know that what I'm doing is cleaning my skin, and I know that when I leave right here, right now, and go in to wash my face will be rejuvenated and have a clean, nice feel, and I know it's clean, and I've done all my moisturizing and everything that I can for my skin, and so I'm going to put it back into a nice state. So it's kind of like that when you're growing your hair out. You're going to go through an awful stage. And yes, it's difficult. You have options. You can wear hats. You can wear headbands. You can wear wigs. You can cut your hair into pixie. And so many have done that. I, for one, did that. And then you can get your hair to a point where you start to feel comfortable. And you go from a stage of, oh, I can't stand it, I've got to dye it. and you just take it one more day, and you just like, oh, it looks awful. What is the rest going to look like? And trust me, you get to the end. And when you get to the end, you are relieved because you're no longer dyeing your hair. You're saving yourself a good portion of money that, of course, you can spend on something else. And your hair gets restored. It feels better. And it's just a new phase in your life. It's just different. And, you know, I think what really is a great boost too, it kind of helps that, this younger generation has really embraced the gray and kind of repopulated it and made it kind of nice for us old people, elderly people, or, more mature people, and hopefully more mature people who are aging gracefully. But I just kind of wanted to make that analogy because, I know it's not as easy as just wiping away the day's makeup and grime from your face. It's not, and nobody says it's easy, but it can be done. And if you're contemplating, if you're in transition, stay strong, get through it, and know that the end results will be great. So this is the beginning, guys. This is how I wore my hair for many, many years. And the color was between an auburn and a medium brown, but this pretty much covered my hairstyle for about at least a good 10 years. And here I just have to show the cutest little pup in the whole world. But here you can see my hair in an angled graduated bob, and same hair color, just with some low lights in it and some highlights. And again, a picture here with my pretty daughter-in-law, and that's my hair. Now, this begins basically the start of my transitioning. I don't really have a lot of gray hairs that you can see at the top, but they are around the temple area and the sides, and this is kind of when I started to decide I cut it short, and I'm gonna do this process. And these are the grays that were the hardest to accept color, and this is the process of my pixie haircut and letting it grow out. Yeah, it's not the best haircut, but you can see that I have made the decision and I'm going to start this process. And trust me, there were days that I believe Ronald McDonald had a better hair day than I did. This is as my gray and silver are coming out. I'm into the process at this point by about a good 8 or 9 months. I still kept it short and just let it fill in. And you can see now that there are the strips of gray that are starting to filter into my hair, and the best choice that I made for myself was just to keep it short. And slowly but surely it started to take over, and I kind of had that skunky look, but not so much on the top, but more on the side. I decided to kind of go into a little bit of an asymmetrical cut just to give it a little more dimension and allow those grays to filter in. And here I'm in the process pretty much by about a good 12 months. Now at this stage I am letting it grow out just a little bit. The back, which you cannot see, is really full of silver and the streaking with the darker color, but just different stages of the process, and having it blend in. And I know it looks like, well, that looks pretty even, but as you can see, it starts to get a little bit more silver. And on the side of my hair here, this is the strip that I had fooled around with some coloring, so all of that had to grow out. And yes, there were stages that you just have bad hair days, so you can amplify it with some pretty colored blush and lipstick. Push it behind your ears, do whatever you need to do, but keep looking at it and know that you're making progress. And on those bad hair days, grab a hat. There's all kinds of cute hats that are out, whether it's a baseball cap or a summer cap or a winter cap. Just hide the grays, go about your business, and just let it keep growing out. And eventually, you start to form a little bit of style. Now, at this point, it's pretty much coming in. I'm not quite sure what the actual end result is going to be. And you can see the difference in the color of my eyebrows, and I have to start thinking about matching that up to my silver. That takes some time, and that really is something that you can do as your hair is growing out and experiment a little bit with some different colors and shadings. But here I'm just trying to get the sides to grow out a little bit longer, keep it behind my ears, and I just want to concentrate on just keep going. It's not the ideal haircut. It's not a haircut that I love, but it is transitioning at this point. And at this point, I am also starting to transition the color of my eyebrows, because I can see a clearer pattern of what my grays are going to look like. So I continue to trim the back and just keep cutting the back upward and letting the sides grow out. And I can see that I am going to have a pretty good deal of salt and pepper looking hair. And here is a great picture, I think, of what the end transition is really going to look like. I finally got my hair to chin length, and I could really tell I am truly salt and pepper at this stage. And I think that I even surprised myself that I liked it as much as I did, and that the color just seemed to brighten my skin instead of making it look dull, as so many people thought that it might do. And this is pretty much what my hair looks like currently, as this is a recent picture. There is a lot of silver. It is salt and pepper looking, and it does have a great restored shine to it. And I have to say, when I look at it, I'm proud of the fact that I got myself through that entire process. I love, 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 love not dyeing my hair. I love that as much as I love the actual end result of the color. And you know, it is an accomplishment. It is hard. It's not easy. There's horrible, ugly days. And that's why I tried to do a little an analogy with taking your makeup off for the day. Your face looks horrible, it looks awful, it looks yucky, but the result at the end of the night is a clean face, one that you're happy with. And so your hair goes through a stage that it doesn't look so great. You're struggling. What do you do to hide it? Instead of hiding it, you just have to embrace it. You've just got to be able to, kind of put that hat on and say, I am embracing it, because truly the end result is amazing. And I think that most or almost everyone who goes through this continues on with loving their gray hair. And I doubt if there are many who will pour dye to their hair.
So, until next time, be kind, be humble, age gracefully.